We are now recording. Jai Baba friends, today, November 22nd, is Meherwan Jessawala's birthday. And so in his honor, we're going to try a new format a little bit with the videos of the mandali. I'm going to show just a brief video. In this case, it's going to be Ruthie Apple's wonderful little. She made some beautiful slideshows for all the mandali, and so I'm going to play just that slideshow. Then I'm going to open it up for any sharing or discussion of Meherwan. And then I will play about an hour video of Meherwan leading a small group up Seclusion Hill, um, and sort of I was talking about just giving. He kind of gives a little history as he goes, and it's kind of an allegory. It's climbing Seclusion Hill is like the journey to 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 God realization. All right. And then if there's more sharing, we can share after that. Okay. So that's just letting you guys know that's what's happening today. And I will get that slideshow started right now. Let's see how are we going to do. Oh, let's see. I'm going to do this first. Mhm.
Lovely is the gift you can find, the kiss of remembrance torments inside.
Lovely is the gift you can find, the kiss of remembrance torments inside.
Through the play of the separation and the world's adieu, the love of my heart is for no one but you.
Through the play of the separation and the world's adieu, the love of my heart is for no one but you.
To you is my destiny tied, I know you will find me wherever I hide.
To you is my destiny tied, I know you will find me wherever I hide.
Though the pain of the separation spins dreamscapes I see, the love of my heart is awakening me.
Though the pain of the separation spins dreamscapes I see, the love of my heart is awakening me, awakening me, awakening me. The love of my heart is awakening me, awakening me, awakening me. The fluting of your love song comes as a madness of the mind, where tangles of ambition in drunkenness unwind. The fluting of your love song
Brother Eruch.
comes as a madness of the mind, where tangles of ambition in drunkenness unwind. Now my only hope is to earn the scope where the flame of love can flare, to implore you and adore you till you alone are there. Darling, for lovely is the gift you can find, the kiss of remembrance torments inside. Lovely is the gift you can find, the kiss of remembrance torments inside.
Through the play of the separation and the world's adieu, the love of my heart is for no one but you.
Through the play of the separation and the world's adieu, the love of my heart is for no one but you.
To you is my destiny tied, I know you will find me wherever I hide.
To you is my destiny tied, I know you will find me wherever I hide.
Though the pain of the separation spins dreamscapes I see, the love of my heart is awakening me.
Though the pain of the separation spins dreamscapes I see, the love of my heart is awakening me, awakening
That's
me,
dumb.
awakening me. The love of my heart is awakening me, awakening me, awakening me.
And sacrifice is real freedom, and ruination is real joy. For when you are exalted, the vessel you destroy.
And sacrifice is real freedom,
Kristen,
and
Meherwan, and
ruination is
fine.
real
Yeah.
joy.
Meherwan and Jeff.
For when you are exalted, the vessel you destroy. Yet I beg the grace still to hold a place where your lover I remain, and as thine sup from the wine cup of the sweetness and the pain,
Darling, for lovely is the gift you can find, the kiss of remembrance torments inside.
lovely is the gift you can find, the kiss of remembrance torments inside.
Through the play of the separation and the world's adieu, the love of my heart is for no one but you.
Through the play of the separation and the world's adieu, the love of my heart is for no one but you.
To you is my destiny tied. I know you will find me wherever I hide.
To you is my destiny tied. I know you will find me wherever I hide.
Though the play of the separation spins dreamscapes I see, the love of my heart is awakening me.
Though the pain of the separation spins dreamscapes I see, the love of my heart is awakening me, awakening me, awakening me. The love of my heart is awakening me, awakening me, awakening me. The love of my heart is awakening me, awakening me, awakening me.
Let's see. I just realized that also on this video that is played is Karen Talbot's bio. Uh-oh, sorry. Mommy.
Well, I don't have a lot to share either, but I don't think anyone has a lot to share.
With Meherji at the White Cloud Paper Mill in Pune. He met Meher Baba when he was 6 or 7 years old and passed on July 15th, 2016. Before he was born, Baba sent word that he should be named Meherwan. And while Gaimai was giving birth to him and was under anesthesia, she had a dream that she was being given the gift of a male child. Gaimai would read the family well-known stories of the saints and avatars of old. She harped on the theme that Baba was the same ancient one or avatar. When Meherwan met Baba, he thought, here is Lord Krishna. Baba would ask Meherwan, who am I? Meherwan would say, Krishnaji. They purchased their home, Mary Lodge, in Nagpur in the early 1920s and developed the house and grounds into a palatial estate. They lived there until 1938. So Meherwan would have been about 8 years old at the time. His first childhood memory of Meher Baba is when Baba came to give darshan there in 1937. When Meherwan first met Meher Baba, he prepared a small garland for him. But being very shy, he didn't know how to place the garland on his neck. Baba noticed and bent down. One day, Meherwan had the urge to possess one little strand of Baba's hair. He got a pair of scissors, sneaked behind the couch where Baba was sitting, and quietly snipped off one little piece of hair. And Baba let him do it. And as time wore by, his shyness wore off. Meherwan remembers when all the items in Mary Lodge in 1938 were being sold off because the family was going to be living with Baba. His cousin Dadi Carawala lived with them. His family was too poor to raise him the way Gaimai could. So essentially, he and Dadi were like real true brothers. Dadi and Meherwan would raise prices on the items. Eruch would wonder how the prices had changed. August 1st, 1938, they all joined Baba at Meherabad. He and Dadi lived with the men. They rested on the floor with their belongings nearby. It was the first time he was out without his mother, Gaimai, but Baba filled the gap. He became close with Gustaji. Gustaji taught Meherwan to read his signs, and they had enjoyable conversations together, often when they were in a car ride. Shortly afterwards, Meherwan joined the Blue Bus tours. At times, he was the only child. Meherwan said he wouldn't trade his childhood for a quote-unquote normal childhood. Occasionally, Dadi or another child would join the tour, but Meherwan was there from beginning to end. From age 7 to 11, he would attend the local schools, and there was a time during the Blue Bus tours that he stayed at Akbar Press. He wasn't happy there. He missed Baba and his family. So Baba sent Pendu's father, Masaji, to pick up Meherwan and bring him along with 40 pieces of luggage to Madla. Because of the many pieces of luggage by British rule, the luggage had to be in a baggage car. And Pendu told Masaji to look after the luggage at every stop. And this is a delightful story where Meherwan is the 41st piece of luggage. At a wayside station called Chalisgaon, the name means 40 villages, Masaji didn't know the train was scheduled for only a brief halt. The train started going and Masaji was desperate, but couldn't get back to Meherwan. When the train halted at the next stop, a couple of railway police came racing along the platform, looking in each window. They asked the child, "Where is your guardian?" They had Meherwan get off the train and on the platform with all 40 pieces of luggage. Meherwan sat on top of the luggage. They told him not to move, and the next train would bring his guardian. The railway people had solved their problem by sending a telegram to the next station and telling them to remove the bundles and Meherwan from the train. Masaji was panicked. He wouldn't know how to tell Meher Baba he had lost Meherwan and the 40 pieces of luggage. The next train that he could get on was a local train, and it took him a long time to reach the destination. Masaji sent a telegram to Baba. Baba broke the news to Papa Jessawala, and all Baba said was, "Here's your son." They were afraid of him, Papa Jessawala, did not share the whole story. On the Blue Bus tours, this was the first time a male child was inducted into the women's ashram. Meherwan was actually allowed to see Mera. He couldn't touch her, but he could see her at a distance. He was very friendly with Mani, who was young, and they played games together. Of Kitty, Meherwan said she was a beautiful soul. Meherwan was enrolled in school in Bangalore. Early morning was exercise time. His instructor, Margaret Krask. Baba wanted to toughen up Meherwan. Elizabeth would drive Meherwan and Sarwar, who was Baidul's daughter and Frani Foreman's mother, to school and back in Bangalore each day. One day, Mani asked him to be in a play. This was in Bangalore. Meherwan was frightened and shy. He was to bring tea in cups before Mani, who was a princely ruler. Instead, he brought the tea in cups to Baba and the women. The cups fell over, they spilled, and Baba had a hearty laugh. When it was his birthday, Baba asked Gaimai what would Meherwan like to eat. She said he liked rice dal and spinach. Baba asked Mani to ask Meherwan again, what did he really want to have for his birthday meal? Meherwan said rice dal and spinach. So that's what they all ate for his birthday feast. In the 1940s, they went back to Bangalore for school for Meherwan. Baba sent Eruch, Gaimai, Meherwan, and his sisters to live in a rented bungalow. Eruch would help Meherwan in his studies. And Baba would have him enter a higher standard when he started a new school, so he would come up to that level, and Eruch would tutor him. Meherwan was part of a group Margaret was teaching self-defense to. Baba asked Meherwan to show what they had learned. Meherwan retreated under the furniture, and Baba was pleased. He learned exercises in Dehradun from Dr. Nilu. And in Dehradun, Meherwan had the duty of accompanying Baba from the women's side of the ashram to the men's side, which were about a mile apart. He would try to keep up with Baba. He was 11 at the time. Meherwan would walk Baba from the women's side to the men's side, inevitably disturbing his breakfast. When he would return, his tea would be cold and flies would be all over his food, but that walk was far more important. In 1943, Papa spoke to Baba and wanted a more settled life for his family. And Shireen Mai, Baba's mother, was very fond of Gaimai and wanted her near. So Baba told the Jessawalla family to go to Pune and stay there for 15 to 20 days at the most. He said, then I'll call you back, but you must be there for some days. Meher Baba's brother Byram located Bindra House. A new tenant almost signed the lease, but Byram offered a higher rent, and the landlord gave it to them. There were no furnishings. They didn't unpack because they thought that Baba would call them soon. 1945, a year later, Papa went to Baba and asked, what should we do? And Baba said, you can unpack now. 1943 to 1990, they lived at Bindra House. 20 days became 47 years. Baba would visit them frequently after mosque tours. He and the Mandali would rest there and get cleaned up to return to Meherabad or Meherazad. August 1944, Chanji died. Masaji died. Meherwan was at the memorial service Baba had for his close ones at Meherabad. 2 big pits were dug by the railroad tracks. Chanji's bedding roll and other personal belongings were placed in one. Masaji's body placed in the other. The names of those close to Baba were recited. After each name, Baba placed a rose petal in the pit. Baba said in the future, which has happened, a memorial tower was to be constructed at that site, commemorating those who loved and served him or who were in some way connected to him in this Advent. August 24th, 1948, Baba performed the housewarming ceremony for Meherazad. He had directed his arti, Bujave Nar, and the Gujarati arti to be sung, same one. Eruch's family was there. Meherwan writes in his book, because we weren't in the habit of singing it, it all went haywire, and we missed and switched words and dropped lines and sang off key. Baba stopped them and dictated the lines to them. Meherwan was 16 and had been in 5 different schools. For college, he attended Wadia College in Pune. Baba was coming to visit, but there was a musical concert and Meherwan wanted to attend, and he missed seeing Baba. Papa and Manu attended the New Life meeting. After Baba came to Bindra House, he told Meherwan to look after the family during the New Life. At that point, Meherwan was 19 and going to college. Baba said, "Look, I am taking Eruch with me to look after me. Your duty will be to look after the family." Papa and Meherwan were to look after the family. Khorshid, Eruch's wife, was also living at Bindra House. Mama, Manu, Valu, Sultan, Dowla, Gaimai, Papa, and Meherwan all lived together there. One day during the New Life, and they were not to look at Baba, Meherwan stopped outside Shivaji Market in Pune and saw a few of Baba's companions 100 yards away, and he even saw Baba. He was shocked, turned around, and fled from the scene. And there were 2 other incidents when he saw Baba as well, but being so trained in obedience to Baba, each time he turned his back. In August of 1950, Baba sent a message to find a bungalow in Pune. They were all so excited. With all the activity, Meherwan did not pass his exams and had to retake them on October 16th, 1950, so he couldn't attend the one day Baba stepped out of the New Life. Then later, Baba asked for another place in Pune. At that time, Meherwan saw a palace-like building. He climbed over the fence. It was Guru Prasad. The man in charge was angry. Said he would have Meherwan arrested for climbing over the fence, and they left. Meanwhile, Gadikar was looking for one also. They sent a telegram to the Rani asking for permission to stay at Guru Prasad. The Rani gave her permission. That marked the first time Baba would stay at Guru Prasad. The man in charge, who had told Meherwan he would have him arrested for jumping over the fence, was quiet when he saw Meherwan return with Gadikar. Meherwan had a difficult time, as I mentioned, studying for all his exams because of all the work that he was doing. And for one exam, he had to know all 92 chemical elements and their properties by heart. Fortunately, he had learned uranium, which was on the test, and he passed. While going for the exams, Najib would gathered all the people in Bindra House before Baba's picture to pray that Baba would pass, that Meherwan would pass. Meherwan went to Baba after he graduated and asked what should he do. Baba said, get a job and be able to help the family. His degrees were in chemistry and physics. His first job was low paying, a clerk in an insurance company. He began in May of 1952. While he was there, someone brought the Times of India into the office, which carried an account of Baba's 1952 accident. Up until that time, they had not heard anything about it. September 1954, Meherwan was at the Darshan program in Wadia Park, Ahmednagar. He said he felt like he was being caught in a stampede of love. After the Darshan, the 3 incredible weeks began. Whenever Baba passed through Pune in the mid-50s, he stopped at Bindra House. In 1956, was a reorganization of the various states of India. Because of the riots and disturbances, insurance companies made a great deal of money, but the demand was so great that Meherwan worked late into the night and at times would pass out. So at that time, Baba had him come for a month's rest at Meheroo, and that would continue monthly as time went by for Meherwan. In 1956, the accident occurred in Satara. Meherji and Meherwan arranged for an ambulance and they went to the hospital. They found a bungalow in Pune for Baba to recover, Silver Oaks. In 1957, they arranged for Baba to stay at Guru Prasad to recuperate, thanks to the kindness of the Rani. Rano was staying at Bindra House. Papa and Rano both were ill. Meherwan called for the doctor. So the thread that runs through all this is that Meherwan was involved in each and everything that occurred, pretty much since he met Baba at age 7 and 8. Baba told Meherwan to go to bed at 10 p.m. that night. 5 minutes to 10, Papa shouted, "Meherwan, come quick." But Baba had given him this order, so he laid his head on the pillow to obey Baba's order. So he did that. He stayed in the bed, but then rushed to Papa, who had a massive pulmonary embolism. When he returned, Papa was breathing his last. Meherwan made all the funeral arrangements. Baba and Eruch attended. There was an Irishman named Kirkpatrick who lived very frugally next to Guru Prasad. Baba had Meherwan see to his meager needs till the end. Kirkpatrick was very Mus-like. In 1962, the Maharani had major electrical and other renovations done to Guru Prasad, and so Baba chose to have the East-West gathering at that time. Meherwan was involved from the beginning and end, from setup to takedown. His job was to assist Meherji with hotel and other accommodations and prep work, and he also was in charge of the telephones, which kept him very, very busy. This is a humorous story. Before January 13th, 1963, he left for his 1-month stay at Merazad. But about that time, the office workers in the insurance company unionized. And because of his seniority, they made Meherwan the union leader. And he had to play his part. He shouted in Marathi, "Down with the management, exploiters." Baba was tickled. He had Meherwan shout them for him. Baba's seclusion continued at Guru Prasad, but Meherwan was able to go whenever he was free. When Meherwan was to leave in 1968, after his 1-month stay, Baba gave him a very tight and long hug. It was the last hug he received from Baba. In 1968, Meherwan, Meherji, and others were not to come to Guru Prasad during Baba's stay. At one point, Meherwan was told in 1969 they were considering bringing Baba to Guru Prasad and he should make preparations, but then that was changed. Meherji was to bring Dr. Grant on January 30th from Pune. Baba asked him to bring Meherwan. Meherwan declined, thinking he would be a burden to Baba. When they arrived, the first thing Baba asked Meherji was, "Did you bring Meherwan?" His sign for Meherwan was little brother. Meherwan regretted that decision to this day. He wrote, "I never knew what was to follow." On January 31st, 1969, Meherji's daughter called with the news Baba had dropped his body. Meherwan's job was to tell everyone in Pune. His boss told him to go right away, have no concern about anything there. And all at Bindra House left very rapidly. Padre gave Meherji and Meherwan mattresses to sleep on in Mandali Hall. And they decided the Great Darshan would still be on. Baba Eruch asked Meherwan to get Guru Prasad ready. At that time, Meheroo wanted Meherwan to leave the insurance company and become his partner, which he did. So for the next 18 years, he was part of the White Cloud paper company that he and Meheroo kept. In 1990, their 20-day stay at Bindra House came to an end, and he and Manu moved to Merazad. So the one thing that I remember and many remember was that the most important thing Meherwan said was to take Baba's name at all times, wherever you are, cooking, reading, writing, whatever you're doing, take Baba's name. And he said that especially at the end of his life. What Mera Arjani said about him was, in years to come, people will read this book and wonder, did people like this really exist? To you all I say, yes, they did, without any ostentation whatsoever. They lived for and served the Lord. Meherwan had large ears. Baba said, you have large ears, make good use of them. When you hear something from one ear, let it go out the other. Don't store it in. At the 1958 Sahavas, when he came before Baba for darshan, Baba, pointing to Meherwan, said, he is mine from head to foot. Meherwan felt quite dazed and stunned for some time. Once Baba asked Nadja to read a letter she had written. She addressed the letter, Dear Saint Meherwan. Baba said, he is a saint. At Guru Prasad, someone asked, what does a saint look like? Baba pointed to Meherwan. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba. So beautiful always, Karen. Thank you so much.
So that's, let's see, where are we now recording? Wasn't that great? Thank you, Karen. I'm going to see Karen today. Wow. At this point, anybody have anything they want to share? We're trying a new format with these meetings featuring the mandali. And I think, my God, that Ruthie's slideshow and Karen's bios are food enough. They're wonderful. Mikal?
Yes, I always think if I come to these, what I try to visualize the mandali and try to think what it reminds me of, what touched my heart especially. So, of course, that Meherwan was like a saint and very, very like transparent person, so delicate, so delicate when I knew him at the end of the days. And now that I'm heard this video, this bio again, I realized that I just left India a few, maybe half a month before he passed away. And that is very strong to me, because the last time that I saw him, that I remember, is in Amartiti time. And the last Amartiti on 2016. And he passed in July 1916. That's what she said. So in July, I came here for to a wedding of a friend, and thinking that I would go back to India, which I couldn't. So this last Matiti was very, very special for me, because at Matiti, that time that everyone is gathered at 12 o'clock for the silence of Baba. on the hill, and thousands of people are sitting like matchboxes, one next, like matches in a box, and one next to the other, so close, on the hill, and getting ready to be in silence together, which is very, very precious, very, very precious to me. So everyone is looking for a place. Just before 15 minutes before 12, everyone is trying to find a place on the hill to sit as close as possible to the avatar's samadhi, and places who are there on the hill under the waving beautiful cloths on the mandap, not on the mandap, on the tent. So I was looking where to sit, and I was wanting to sit next to Mera's window, but because Baba's samadhi in Mera's window, so because it was there was fence, there was a fence there, and someone was standing in that place, and I saw that I wouldn't be able to find a place where I can sit quietly there. Then I looked for another place, and I went on the mandap. And the mandap was full of people, was full like sardines, like matches in a matchbox. It was full, and I came on the side of on the side of Lower Meherabad. I came on the longer side, and it was full, and I was just walking to the gadi, because the gadi on Arati, on Matiti time, is put on the mandap. It's put on the higher stage that is close to the samadhi. And I was looking to sit by that. At least if I cannot sit by the samadhi, I will sit by the gadi. So I don't know how I made it. It was like just magic. It was like I did not disturb anyone, although they were so close to each other. I don't know how I made it so easily to that gadi that was right at the end of that mandap, and quite a long, and full of people. And I sat there and was looking at Baba's picture on the gadi, with my back actually to the samadhi, but looking at Baba's picture on the gadi. Suddenly I look around and I see Meherwan is sitting right there. Meherwan was sitting like right there with Shelley right back to back to me. Casey was sitting there. I think, I don't know who else that were keeping, because he was very frail, so we're keeping next to him, and he was sitting on a chair. And so the very heart-to-heart exchange between us. He didn't say anything, but in my heart, and it was very, very special. So that was actually the last time that I remember seeing Meherwan. I might have seen him in Merazad, but I'm not sure. I think from that time, that was the last time, but it was so special. On the silence as I was walking, and it was like the sea of people was parting, so I could pass through to sit next to Baba's gadi. And it seemed to me in my heart that Meherwan was telling me. I was holding with one hand Baba's gadi, or the right hand, because I was sitting on that side, on Baba's right. So I was looking at Baba's picture, so I was holding my hand. And it seemed to me that Meherwan said, hold with both hands. Hold with both hands and hold tight. So that is the last memory that I have of him. And the first memory that I have of him is when I came to Meherabad in 1988, either in that year or the next year. 3 first years that for me are like one beginning. One day I was in Merazad, and at the lunch break, we used to have sandwiches there, peanut butter and jam. And we used to have the tea there. So we used to let the mandali just rest for that time, and we'd go to the terrace and have that. And Meherwan was sitting there, and someone showed me how to juggle balls, 3 balls. So I wasn't good at it because they just showed me and I was trying to juggle. So I went to the end of the terrace, of the very end, to try to juggle. And I was juggling and juggling and juggling and juggling, making, every time it fell and I every time tried again, tried again, tried again. So it did work sometimes, but I was trying. And then I remember that Meherwan was sitting quite close to me on the bench looking at me. And I think that he just gave this blessing, just gave me this blessing because he saw that I was not stopping. Every time the balls would fall, I would try again and again and again. And it did work. So I think he sort of blessed me because he appreciated that I tried again and again. Then what happened with the juggling is I came home and I showed my children that I was juggling. My little one took the juggling into his hands, and that's when I stopped juggling and he started juggling. So actually it passed on to Boaz.
Barbara has a question. She wants to know who taught you how to juggle.
I don't know who taught me how to juggle. I just remember that someone was juggling. Maybe it was Rosalie that was juggling, and maybe I don't know. But I tried it then, and that's what
It was me because you sent me a card thanking you for teaching you.
Oh,
to
okay.
juggle.
So,
Yeah.
you see, I remember you well from those years, from those beautiful years, shiny years. So these are the two, like a beginning and end, where he really touched my deeply and personally my heart and through without words, and I knew that he blessed me with the juggling, and I knew that he told me hold both hands, not one hand, hold both hands. And I took both hands and held them to this. So that's this. And another thing that I was thinking of when we saw the pictures, he changed. Like Baba changed his visuals. Baba looked different when he was young, and then he looked different at different ages. And 3B used to write about it, that he used to change, his whole face used to change. And she was an artist, so she knew because she painted him in different ages. Baba, I'm talking about Baba. Same thing happened to Meherwan. No, yeah, he changed. If you see as a child how he looked, and so so shy and so close, and then you see the picture where Eruch is putting his head on his shoulder, and he's a shiny, young, and open-hearted person. And then when he is older and he's sort of becoming very fragile and very transparent. And so this is also something that I saw in this video, and where he is holding the bow, that is where Margaret taught them to fight. They taught the women with the clubs. I guess that he was also taught this. And the last thing that I'll say about him is, except that he was such an amazing, beautiful, loving soul, is that he was a great worker of Baba. Baba had people in different cities, like Arnavaz's husband, Nariman, in Bombay, and he had in Delhi, and he had in Dehradun, and so in Pune, he had Meherwan and Gadikar and Meherji. And they were his mandali. Every time that he came, they were doing work for him. They were looking for places for him. They were preparing things for him. They were bringing the food back and forth. He was doing this work with Kirkpatrick that was really terrible, because he was really terrible at the end of his life, having all these ailments. And just being such a soft person, he was a lion. Although he was such a soft person, he was such a mover, and such a great work he did for Baba. He was Mandali, definitely. Thank you, Meherwan. It was wonderful to know you.
Can I just ask you? I didn't understand. You work for is this a body worker for?
Yeah, no, that Lucy, no, Karen said there was this mast, this Western mast. He was called
Oh,
Kirkpatrick, and he was Christian, and he was something with the church, but he was completely mast-like, and Baba liked him, and he didn't have any money, and he helped him. Baba helped him also, I think, gave him an allowance, and Meherwan was the one to take care of him and to go to him and everything. And because he was so much like he didn't take care of his body, and he became really sick, and it was hard to even move him to a hospital to be taken care of by a doctor. And it was all
The Irishman next to Guru Prasad, who lived right next to Guru Prasad, right?
and that was Meherwan's work, and it was really not easy to be around him because he wouldn't let even Meherwan to help him. And so, if you read that book and you read what he did with him, he was very special. You know, he looked so weak, he looked so shy, and everything, but he was. Thank you, Jai Baba.
Thank you, Mikhail.
Happy birthday. יום הולדת, יום הולדת. השמחה רבה רבה. In Baba's Darbar, you have a birthday. So enjoy, all of you there together. Jai Baba.
Dear Meherwan.
Whose birthday?
Meherwan.
birthday.
Today is his birthday. November 22nd. Yeah.
I like the juggling metaphor, how you juggled and the balls were falling and you juggled and you practiced, but then you got better. That's like us and Baba, right? I've been trying to catch up on all Jeff's videos, and the thing is, I don't go to the night meetings, but a lot of people here, like Marta and Rosalie and Deanne and Terry, they're all in these meetings, and I have this sense that I know everybody, but I'm not at the meetings. But anyway, yeah, Meherwan, I don't have a story really, but his beautiful presence and his tolerance. I mean, people used to, a couple of times people would come in and complain about things that were happening, and he would think for a long time, and he ended up with not judging or coming down on anything anybody was doing. He had a tolerance, but anyway, he had a beautiful, beautiful presence, and it was such a privilege to be around him. And who is it? Somebody has a story that Meherwan told about how we should never ever miss an opportunity to be near Baba if we are given that opportunity.
Imagine that regret he must have felt when, Baba asked him to come. Can you imagine how close he was and how he didn't want to be a bother, I guess is what Karen said. Wow. And
though, Betty, that's such another perfect example that I always notice how I think that I'm going to spare Baba. So I'm going to not do what he says, because how could I do that to Baba? These stories come and come, and it just keeps reminding me. My brain thinks I know what's going on, so I'm going to take care of this person, or I'm going to do this. But then I don't know, and he was doing it out of love, and look what, so even those close ones had their lessons, I guess, and what a painful lesson that must have been, yeah.
Can you imagine? Yeah, right.
No, I can't imagine. No. But I have two things to share, two baby things. My baby claims to fame. One is with Eruch. When I first went to India, I was 25, and it was in 75. And after playing around and bantering with Eruch for several weeks, he said, you need to meet my brother because you guys should get married. You know how he was teasing.
Oh, beautiful.
And I said, what? I said, first, my mantra is, I'm not going to get married. No. He goes, but it's Meherwan. He's a wonderful person. I go, really? Well, I said, what does he look like? I mean, I'm new to Baba. I wasn't even into Baba. I went to India with my boyfriend, Randy, you know that whole story. And so I always remember that Eric's got the biggest chuckle out. He says, no, I need to get you together with my brother. We need to arrange a marriage. So I always remembered that because it's a cute story. And I thought, oh, well, that connected me to Meherwan maybe in future lives, right? And then the other side of the story is at the other side of my trails of travel. 20 years ago, I was in India and Erich was gone. And I got off the bus at Mandalay Hall. And the first person that I saw and went up to greet was Meherwan. And as he's hugging me, he said, why didn't you come to see Erich? Why didn't you come to see Erich? I mean, it was like, you know, well, I already felt bad because I missed seeing Erich and I adored Erich, of course. And he said, he looked at me in the eyes and he said, he loved you so much. He said, why didn't you come? I go, oh God, Meherwan, don't do this to me. He says, never mind. He says, go into Erich's room and talk to him. So I went into Erich's room for a while and just like, oh, Erich, I'm so sorry, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, that's another cute story. I got a kick out of it. So that's my claim to the brothers there. Claim to fame.
That is so sweet. One of them sends them to each one of them sends them to the other.
Can you believe it? I know, it's such a crack up. It's such a crack up. And also, I wanted to say, I don't know what your name is, B. Is that Barbara?
Yeah,
Barbara.
yeah, it's Barbara.
Barbara. Yeah, I want to tell you that I'm so delighted that you know us from the chat. So many people can't come to that hour.
I
Jeff was telling me, you know, Jeff is on his way back from India, and he was telling me people in India go, oh, you know, I know so-and-so, I know so-and-so, I saw them on the chat, and we're over on this side of the world, and they're on, so we're all a big family, Barbara, and so it's so nice to know that you recognize me. Hi.
Of course.
I see your chat.
You have no idea how many of these I've watched, but
so
you
glad.
all don't know me, so I should go.
Yes,
but
nice to meet you.
I have to stay up.
Where do you live?
Currently in North Carolina. Currently being like the last 30 years.
Wow.
Glad you share some consistency.
Nice to meet you, Barbara. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Hi, ladies and Tony.
Hi, Diane, Terry.
Where's Tony Face?
Oh, there's Tony. He just came on. Hi, Tony.
Tony.
Oh.
Hey.
Rosalie, do you have a story to share? I'm thinking, let's hear Rosalie. Let's hear the Meherwan stories. I mean, everything is good.
Well, my story starts today because I've never slept till 11 o'clock. And because I had been up and then I thought, oh, I need to sleep some more. I woke right at 11. And then I thought, I think I'll check to see what's going on Saturday. I'm going to check Zoom.
Baba's timing.
Yeah, it was totally Baba's timing because I've never, I mean, it's just like, it doesn't seem like it would be in me to sleep till 11 o'clock in the morning. I don't know. So anyway, but I have a lot of, you might say, feedback, because anyone that works for an insurance company for how many years, when they would want to be around Baba, come on, that's a saint. That's a saint. And I remember doing office work years and years and years. I could have become a saint. I mean, you know, like it's like dry, like a kind of dry life. And also then he does everything wholeheartedly. Very scorpionic, I have to say. He fell over working nights, and I thought, who falls over but to go to sleep? He fell over out of exhaustion. This is like a rare person. And actually, Eruch was a rock star. Who didn't love Eruch? And then you had this brother that can't be around Baba because it's not his fate, whatever. Has to take care of the family. I mean, really? I mean, and I I think a lot of times just, and especially like today, thinking, Baba brought me there, meeting all the Mandali, as many as I met a lot of them. And, but I think for one thing, a lot of us have met him our last lifetime. And I think I have. And speak of a lost opportunity. That also, that's an incredibly lost opportunity. But then Baba points him out as a saint, points him out. And I didn't come in exactly. I missed. I really want to see that film again because he's put in a position. He's very dutiful. I mean, he'll do anything for Baba, and he didn't even go to help his father. That, and the father dies. I mean, wow. I mean, it was just like astounding. I have to share one thing. This is by Phyllis Frederick, one of her beautiful little unstructured haiku. Even sun avatar sets at last, ringed by flaming clouds of mandali hearts. Here is like a flaming cloud person because even the juggling thing, Michal came up, he appreciated. I mean, that's one of the ways of realizing God. If we endure our lot, his lot was not great. With patience and contentment, man, he had it. Wow, yeah. I don't know. I've been to India 7 times. I don't have a memory of him. The only memory I would have is he was a soft presence. Someone that you wouldn't be uncomfortable being around, that wouldn't try to extract, bring you out. Maybe you didn't want to be brought out. He would not interfere with you. And also, I wish Jonathan had been here because he spent a few months in India and he'd have walks with Meherwan. The same like Eruch used to have the walk. Well, Meherwan would have the walk in 2010. And so he had these wonderful times just walking with him. And anyway, I do thank Baba for bringing me today. Well, in a way, it's a wake-up call. Like nothing's for nothing. If you think your life is unglamorous, it's not what you want. It's quite a challenge. God only knows what he thought, but his devotion is, Krishna. It was Krishna. Yeah. Very, beautiful. And he's actually, and it's so funny, I always think, in the Catholic Church, they didn't want us involved with astrology at all. Well, I'm a half astrologer, but he's right on the borderline, changing into another sign. And I just thought, he was so special. Yeah. So special in not being special. Because I don't know how many years that was, 38 years or something, working for the insurance company. How horrible. How absolutely, oh my God. I don't want it back.
18 years.
How many?
18.
18. Well, not so bad.
Well, that wasn't his real life. He didn't, his real life was Baba. I mean, look, he was a kid on the Blue Bus tours. Wow.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. And he got to be around Mara.
Yeah.
And I do absolutely love that little poem of Phyllis Frederick, because even sun avatar sets at last, ringed by flaming clouds of mandali hearts. I mean, every one of the mandali, even the ones I didn't talk to when I was there, but they truly were. I did at least get that spiritual family. And that doesn't mean that you got along with them or their family. With your family, that's what you get until you can get away, anyway, enough said, but I'm grateful Baba woke me up at 11.
Thank you.
I love that point that we're all family and you get what you get. And you can't, you don't necessarily please people. You don't, it's not easy, but this is where we belong.
Yeah.
Baba. Talk about Baba family with Baba Zoom, and I shudder a little, because, you never know what you get. And I got what I got, but, it's like, was that my plan? Yeah.
Must have been.
Yeah.
Tony, did you have any memories of Meherwan? He wasn't around.
Well, I have one very big memory of Meherwan.
Okay.
I was in Mondley Hall, and Eruch was talking, and there's a big crowd there in Mondley Hall, and then Eruch kind of paused, and Meherwan said, "Tell them," and Eruch he hedged, and he said, "Eruch, tell them." And I don't know. Eruch told them about the sound. And he kept pushing and pushing. And finally, Eruch, his shoulders went down and he went, I guess Baba has brought about the time to let it out. And he told the story of that sitting there with Baba in Mondley Hall, and Baba had put his hand over his mouth and went, and I can't duplicate. It was chilling when you heard Eruch do this, and he repeated it again. Someone asked him, and he said, "So true to his promise, he has broken his silence." Wow. And it was shortly before dropping his body. It was around that period.
Eruch is dropping his Baba.
Baba. That incident had happened shortly, and we went back out. The session in Mondley Hall ended, and Meherwan had been sitting by the door. Anyway, so we all went and sat by the benches, and what's her name? I'm 73. I forget names. She's an artist. She's a Baba artist. She did some of Bauji books. She's from France. Anyway,
Rano?
No.
Nadia.
Nadia.
Oh, yes, Nadia.
Yeah. So Nadia was recording it, and she had run out. Her tape had run out. But when Eruch started to tell this story, someone said, "Flip the tape over. You got to record this. He could tell something big was coming." And so she had a recording of this whole thing. And there we are now afterwards at the bench, and of a dozen people, each person had a different version of what Eruch had. And I worked at the UN at the time. One of my main jobs was covering press conferences that happened in an intimate setting. And I would be the closest to the speaker. And I would have a tape recorder and my notes. And usually my notes had to be good enough so that I didn't have to refer to the tape. But it was good to have the tape there. So people were asking her if they could have the recording. And I just asked her, can I borrow the tape overnight? I want to make a transcript of it because everyone here is telling a different story. And I know what I heard because it was my job to know what I heard. So she loaned it to me. And as it turned out, it was the only time I had a solo room at the Pilgrim Center. So I was able to stay up till 2 a.m. or 3, whatever it was. And I took the whole thing down. There was a big stir about it. Well, I don't want to tell the whole story because this is about Meherwan. But Mani had a different view of this. Mani was promised when she was a child that she would be physically present when Baba broke his silence. So this could not have been Baba breaking his silence. And Bauji, on the other hand, was kind of saying this is a physical thing, but the breaking of his silence is also an internal thing. This is my own words. But they each had their own version. I got back to New York, and this is being recorded. Yes, it is.
Yeah, it's been recorded.
It is. All right. So someone heard that I had it and wanted to publish it, and I said, "You have permission?" And the person said they had permission, blanket permission for anything in Mondley Hall. And I said, well, okay, as long as I can write the article surrounding it, because other people have different views, And I got that assurance. But when the article came out, everything I had added about other people's views had been cut. And it said, true to his promise, he has broken his silence. The world went nuts. I mean, it was already a problem. But that came out, and I got a harsh letter from Mani. God bless. That's actually it deepened my relationship with Mani over the years. So it was a gift because I had to say, I checked in with Baba and I made sure we had permission, But the other person got a similar letter from Eruch. But it turned out when I came back to India 2 years later, not even thinking about this, because I made peace with Mani and I knew I was okay with Baba on what I had done. But it turns out, I talked to Meherwan. He went through hell over this.
Oh, Baba.
Yeah, because he was the one who pressed Eruch to
instigated. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was relentless. It was like a bulldog. It was like he was pressing until, and Eruch is right. I mean, clearly, Baba has brought about the time to let this out. Mm-hmm. But you could see he had taken a lot of unpleasantness because of doing that. Yeah.
But I do think that Baba wanted it, because Babaji also got hit on his head when he said that he heard that Baba told him the last day, he told him Yadrak, right? Yadrak. I'm not his body, I'm not his body. And Baba didn't want him to talk because even just gesturing, he was jumping, and they had to hold him. And Baba, because of his, that's what happened to him at the last days. And they also harassed Babaji for saying that. But the thing is that they did hear that. And Baba did break his silence for Eruch and for Babaji. And they kept it for a time quietly. And then they said it. And then everyone got frightened because of the 3/4 of the world. So then they hushed it again. And only much, much later, it was more, Babaji opened up again and told about it. And that's when it got relaxed. And that's when also we heard the story that Eruch heard him.
The thing was, in Stay with God, Baba gave 2 discourses, 2 or 3 mini discourses. And one of them was on the breaking of his silence. And he said that, when you close your lips and make that sound,
mm-hmm.
seventh shadow of the original Om that
Mm.
gave birth to creation. When I break my silence, it will be to make that sound with my physical lips. And that is literally what
Oh,
Erich described. It was mm, like that. Um, I didn't think it was a big deal, except that, well, because Baba, I felt it was reassuring.
Yeah.
Baba, I will make this sound with my physical lips. But I never thought that's the whole story of the breaking of his silence. The breaking of his silence is something internal and who knows how long it'll take for that to reach the world or whatever. But yeah, it was
what was the impetus? What caused Baba to do that? Did
out of the blue.
Erich say Baba? Did Erich didn't say why? What the context was?
Just out of
Never
the blue.
explained himself. Baba never explained himself. He was unfathomable. One could not even understand. Erich could not understand. We cannot understand. And so I believe these stories totally as innocent as as a child. You just accept what he did. He did
Oh,
that.
yeah. But Erich was there, and I just wondered if he said this happened, and then Baba, he didn't say
It
that.
was out of the blue. Also, what occurs to me now, it's a little bit off, a little bit more off, but the topic is about the breaking. It's been a lot on my mind that three-quarters of the world would be destroyed lately. And the thing is, and Baba had to give the clarification. They gave three messages to modify having said that. And the gist, as I recall, was when I speak to you, I'm always speaking in my language. But what I say in my language, you can't understand. So I speak in your language and that you can understand. What I say in my own language, and I'm paraphrasing my understanding, you could only know when it comes to pass. You can't take it literally, in other words. And the three-quarters of the world being destroyed was said in my language. And with what I've been noticing with this astrological pattern that's happening now, and the biggest description of I've been given is that in the same way that the world seemed totally changed after Martin Luther put up his things, right? And which was also when the Gutenberg Bible was around and communication suddenly became open. The church's power was gone. It was all that happened. And likewise, if you go back to around when Baba was born, when suddenly electricity was there, and instead of lamps, now we had electric lamps, and we had cars, and we had now to the point where it's the internet and all this. It dawned on me, and I think this fits for me, that when Baba said three-quarters of the world will be destroyed, in a way, that's what it was like when those changes took place.
Mm-hmm.
Quarters of what you consider life to be.
Interesting.
It's going to be there anymore. It's going to be different.
Interesting.
And I think, and this is the first thing that's hit me that makes sense that that's what Baba meant. Because he said, in effect, you won't know until it happens what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that makes sense. The world, and according to the aspects happening now, that could be as soon as 6 years from now. Or I mean, some of it'll carry out for a decade or two. But it seems that with AI, that technology is going to be so different. If indeed Baba's manifestation reaches the point where you see the beginning of a new humanity, that would mean so much of what we take for granted as what life is will be gone. So it's not necessarily a scary thing, No more buggies anymore,
Yeah, thank you.
Oh.
So Betty, or anyone, something about Meherwan?
Oh,
you had encountered with him when you were there with your family?
no, he wasn't there. No, not that I remember. No, I didn't really meet Meherwan. He did seem. I'm watching videos. I guess he did seem like all those words, a humble, patient. I have that feeling. But yeah, I'm just listening to you guys who met him. I'm
Yeah.
wondering, are we, I was going to show a video. It's another hour long. I'm thinking this has been a nice meeting to.
I'd like to see the first video. I didn't see it all.
Oh, I could redo Ruthie's
Yeah,
slideshow.
just
I'd be
because,
happy to do that.
yeah, because
And
of
then
him
share.
and
I wanted to watch Meherwan go up Seclusion Hill.
Okay, I'm happy to play.
yeah.
Okay, but I think I won't record it.
I just want to, before we go into to remind us all that every Mandali had something to tell us very strongly, and the thing that he told us very strongly is about Baba's name, taking Baba's name, taking Baba's name. And he did that himself. And he said how much it helped him. I mean, he didn't say how much it helped him, but he was certainly talking from his own experience. And he just told us, and he begged us. He didn't only tell us because he was so shy. He pushed that. He pushed that. Take Baba's name, take Baba's name, take Baba's name. So it is very important now in our times, 3/4 or not 3/4 or however it will be, take Baba's name. So yes, this movie is very beautiful that Margie wants to see. I will stay over.
It's funny that this also to me is a clue. Baba's name is so short, Baba. It's like for the times that are fast and just kind of flying at us, like AI. I mean AI. I mean, really, that was it. That got my dander up. But it's just the beginning, of what could just be coming up, or not knowing if something is what it's representing itself to be. I mean, it's like really, it's like floating in the asteroid belt.
Yeah,
really, it's like strange. It's like, and I would say because we had someone come here, and Baba said, gave me the order, say my name 1,000 times. 1,000 times doesn't take long, and so I do it in the morning, and that's because of my retirement, or I don't have to go to that job. So I'd already done that. Then I thought, I'm just going to lay down. And then I end up at this meeting, 11 o'clock, right on the button. It was,
Meherwan invited you. Baba invited you.
Yeah. And I admire, too, he had to fill that place in Mandalay Hall. I mean, that was pressure. That's pressure. Eruch was gone on. And it's kind of not his nature, it reminded me of his passing out, working late in the insurance business. He was giving it his all. He gave it his all. But I tell you, Mandalay Hall was not easy for him. Wow.
Marjipan, you were talking. You have anything to share about Meherwan?
No, I'd like to see the video of him taking us up to Seclusion Hill.
Seclusion, yeah.
Yeah, so let's put the video. You're muted, darling. You're muted, darling.
See the slideshow, Ruthie's slideshow of the Meherwan pictures first, right? Rosalie asked.
No, I've already seen that.
I know you have, but Rosalie asked if we could see it again.
Oh dear. I've been waiting all this time to see going up Seclusion.
Oh, it's okay. Well, it's not that long.
Would you mind seeing the after it's zoomed out and just looking through recordings? Would you mind looking at it, Rosalie?
It's just kind of funny. It's just funny. Yeah. And God is everything as it is. Yeah.
What to do? And okay, I think I'll maybe I'll just stop the
Rosalie, would you mind seeing this as this in Zoom? No, not in Zoom, in recording. Would you mind looking at it in recording? So Marjipan, who has been waiting and has seen that already, or maybe
Would you mind just playing it? We could have seen it already by now.
That's kind of long. Here, let me stop the recording. I think maybe we could, and I can start and then I can play. I think I'll do that because that Seclusion Hill video is, it's also recorded. Let me stop here.